Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Okay. I wonder how you came to realize that you're allergic to dairy, eggs, wheat, and gluten. Hi, I'm Jesrina Arshad. I'm the co-founder and CEO of PurelyB. I know you guys have some questions for us here at PurelyB, so let's chat with me, Jesrina. So let's see, we have a question from Sheila. She asks, hi Jesrina, I wonder how you came to realize that you're allergic to dairy, eggs, wheat, and gluten. Sometimes I feel kind of weird, but I'm not sure if it's allergies or just me feeling a little bit sick. Also, when did you realize you were allergic to these things, and what steps did you take to overcome your allergies? So let's see, I think it was about 10 years ago when I realized that my body was developing all these types of allergic reactions. Like I would break out in rashes, I would have really bad digestive issues. I'm gonna say it, I had constipation and it was really bad. I'm not gonna go into details, but to the point whereby it caused me having migraines because of the buildup of toxins in my body on a weekly basis and feeling nauseous and low energy levels constantly. And that was my life, and it was to a point where I was so immune to it. It was normal for me, and that was kind of scary. And the only thing that I knew that I was reacting to was shellfish. It was because it was pretty immediate, and I would break out in rashes as soon as I ate lobster or crab or anything to do with shellfish. But other than that, I just thought I had a really sensitive body. And so it was only about, I think, 6 years ago, so a few years after that, my sister, Dina, who's a natural health practitioner, advised me to see a naturopath and osteopath in Singapore, because this naturopath actually helped my nephew overcome eczema within a short period of time. By the time he was 1 year old, when his pediatrician told him he would have to live with it till he's 5 years old. So this naturopath not only found out what he was allergic to, but helped treat him. So I figured I have nothing to lose, and I would decided to go see him. And what I loved about his technique was it was non-invasive, it was all natural, no needles, and I'm petrified of needles. And I think that was probably a big reason why I never went to get tested for my allergies to begin with. And so what he does is he uses a technique called NAET, N-A-E-T, which stands for Nambripad's Allergy Elimination Technique. And basically they test for your muscle symptoms to the allergies to know what is it that you're reacting to. So when I went, it was a really interesting process. I basically had to hold like this glass jar where he would put in all these different types of food allergens and test the strength of my arm and the resistance to it. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but what I found out was the number one food that I was allergic to was egg. And then followed by gluten, wheat, dairy, and last on the list was shellfish. So yeah, I was allergic to shellfish, but not as badly allergic as I was to all the other food items. So for me, it was really like a shock and an eye-opener. But the first thing that raced through my mind was, what on earth am I gonna eat? So, and you have to imagine back then, I didn't even know what gluten was, let alone know how to stay away from it. So it was really a challenging time for me to discover all of that. But I think that is the most important first step. And I have to stress that out to everyone. Just get tested and find out what is it that you're allergic to or intolerant to if it's not an allergy. Because once you find out, then you can make the next steps to really addressing that and improving your health. As part of the treatment, I had to stay away from all foods that had gluten, dairy, egg, wheat, and shellfish for 30 days for the treatment to really be effective. And it was the most challenging period I had to go through. So I decided to just take the easy way out and just have grilled fish and steamed fish with vegetables for 30 days. And yeah, I was dying because my weak spot is desserts. I love my cakes, I love my sugar-laden foods, and the fact that I couldn't have any for the whole 30 days was really killing me. So I did have cheat days here and there, I'm not gonna lie, but I experienced the improvements in my health. It was slight, like my skin started to clear up a little, like from the rashes, and my digestive issues started to improve. But still, I don't think I went about it the right way. Like, I was having grilled fish and steamed fish, but it was marinated in soya sauce that had gluten. So today I know what I could have done better. But it was really interesting to see that despite all that, I still started seeing improvements in my health. So after the 30 days, I have to admit, I fell off the bandwagon and I went back to my old eating habits just because it was so difficult for me to eat out or eat in and cut out all of those foods, gluten, dairy, egg, wheat. Living in Malaysia and Asia, I don't think I knew enough about what was in the food I was eating to be able to properly sustain that kind of diet and lifestyle. So I just accepted that my health was never going to be at its 100% and just went through all those symptoms again. It wasn't up until about 2 years ago in early 2015 when everything changed. And I was just so fascinated and inspired by these health food bloggers that I had discovered, like Deliciously Ella, you may know her as Ella Woodard in the UK, where they overcame chronic illnesses, including cancer, by changing their entire diet and lifestyle to be natural and holistic, cutting out processed foods, cutting out toxins, and a lot of this meant cutting out gluten, dairy, egg, and wheat. And I was so fascinated that they were still eating some of my favorite foods. They were making chocolate cakes, they were making pizzas, they were making burgers, but it didn't contain gluten, dairy, egg, or wheat. And I was just really shocked at how they were able to do that. And I wanted to learn. So it really sparked that curiosity in me to understand what were these superfoods and highly nutritious ingredients that they were using to substitute the unhealthy ingredients. And how can I do the same for my favorite dishes and living in Malaysia and Asia? It was really difficult because half of what they were advocating and all these ingredients they were using were not available here in Malaysia. And I had to do a lot of research on my own to figure out what are the alternatives or the next best alternatives that I could use. So once I had done all my research and I was ready, I set aside 1 week to experiment. I stocked up on all the ingredients that I needed to make these healthy versions of my favorite dishes and decided to cook. And I never stepped foot in the kitchen. So for me, it was a huge deal to do this. My husband walked into the kitchen and thought I was a complete stranger. He said, "Who are you?" And so yeah, I did my breakfast, my lunch, my dinner, and I made things like quinoa nasi gorengs, like fried rice using quinoa, tossing coconut oil, tempeh, and things like that. I made chocolate fudge peanut butter brownies made with only 3 or 4 ingredients and took like 5 minutes to make, and cauliflower crust pizza, so many different types of recipes that literally only took me 5 to 10 minutes. So not only did I love the food that I was making, I mean, it tasted so good and really defied what you thought healthy food tastes like, but I saw really drastic improvements to my health, my digestive issues, my constipation, my nausea, my migraines, all went away in that 1 week. And it really blew me away and was a big reason as to why I decided to create PurelyB. And most importantly, I never felt better. I finally knew what it was like to have my health at almost 100%. And once you get that and you feel that, you never want to go back. Trust me, it's the best motivation that you can have. So the key takeaway here is to get educated, research and learn from trusted health experts and sources like PurelyB, and learn what's really in the food that you eat, how to avoid processed foods, how to read food labels, and how to substitute unhealthy ingredients with healthier options. So Sheila, I hope this helps to answer your question about how do you find out what is it that you're allergic to and what are the steps that you can take to overcome it. And if you're feeling a little weird and it may not be food that you're allergic to, it just means that you need to take better care of your health. And the first step, like I mentioned, is just be educated, be more aware about what you're putting into your body. Then you can make more conscious decisions of how to improve your health and your diet choices and your lifestyle choices. And just remember that we're living in Asia where by default, there are healthier options here. We just don't realize it. If you like this video and have any tips you'd like to share or similar experiences, just add your comment below. And if you have any questions, just send us a message on our Facebook. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us and like us on our Instagram and our Facebook. And if you want more tips like these, just go to PurelyB.com and subscribe to our e-newsletter. Thanks for watching. I'm Jesrina. I'll see you soon.